Of the two marquee courses at Pinehurst, Pinehurst number 4 is dramatically more fun, more forgiving, and just more. The opening hole, actually what you should know is the tee slope is a little bit on a downslope, so a lot of people top their ball, including me twice, which was really embarrassing. Green's dramatically slower, at least on this day, coming off of a rainstorm. I personally liked Pinehurst number 4 a lot more because the views off of the tee are much more dramatic and interesting. So that's a blind par 5 that leads into kind of this hole. And as you saw in my Tobacco Road vlog, I hit a shot just like this wedge, and it went over the bunker and went close. Well, this is the same shot, but instead of that, I got punished in the bunker. We start out with a bogey start. This is a replica, I believe, I learned from DJ Pie of No Laying Up of the Great Disaster at Pine Valley. And it's just a position hole. So what I like about number 4 is there's a good assortment of different types of holes and strategies, whereas Pinehurst number 4 is keep the ball in play and the golf course is the green. Pinehurst number 4 is more about kind of strategy off the tee. Approach shot is weighted a lot less than number 2, and the greens are much more forgiving. On this day, you can tell my arms are totally burning up. Really gettable short par 3. Definitely didn't take advantage of it. Put myself in a short side bunker. Another bogey. If you look behind, there's a beautiful creek, and that kind of adds to the picturesque quality of this. Just a lot of really picturesque holes. This is a super tough hole. This hole illustrates where if you play from the white tees, you need to hit it about 240, 250 yards. It's kind of like a more spectacular TPC Harding Park. This is about to be the worst swing you've ever seen because I'm like trying to pull the ball and I aim at that tree and I hit it straight. But if you can't get the ball about 230, 240 from the white tees, you're just not going to have a chance at par on most of these holes because the holes are very long. They have speed slots where you can catch them and get extra yardage. But this is a bomber's paradise, whereas number 2 is more so you can be a short hitter and dink and dot. It's precision around. This course is definitely the long ball rules. And so, once again, another bogey. This was a majestic par 3. As I'm watching this, reflecting on this course, I forgot how much I really enjoyed number 4. To me, number 4 is kind of, I didn't expect how good it was going to be. I enjoyed it a lot more because it was more forgiving. That one was a 2-putt par. Go me. And then this was, once again, you're standing over the tees. Beautifully kind of deceptive looking tee designs. And what it is you're just kind of bombing and gouging your way down as you enter kind of the home stretch of this. And then once again, I'm using my philosophy of the Texas wedge, which I learned at number 2. And this course, you don't really need to do that because the greens are a little bit slower. The grass isn't as tight. But it's just something I took into heed. Once again, another strategic driving hole. Bunkers all down your right-hand side, and it runs off. I got lucky that I don't hit it that far, so I came up right there. Look at all those fat divots that the superintendent's so happy that I did. Kind of raised up and thinned that one a little bit. And this is what makes this course tricky is I missed a downslope by just like a matter of feet, and because I missed it, I made an easy 3-putt because that went off to the races, and I actually had to struggle for a 3-putt, which that's kind of like the Pinehurst experience. There's the super pull. You know, I had to go kind of super left on this. Another fantastic like hazard hole, par 5. Hit the super hook with my 5-wood that I cannot do anything but hook, so it's like in my bag solely for just when I hit into the woods and get myself out, and left myself with an interesting little chip that I totally took that front bunker out of play and didn't make the putt for the bogey or the par or the birdie, but I got par. This hole was absolutely frustrating. These next 2 holes were very frustrating. I came up and out of it, found my ball over there, but just played it from the fairway because I was so far back. And the heat was really starting to get to your boy. This was the only other day I played with no long sleeves. Hit a 5-wood. It almost got there. This hole has elements of pine needles. And what I mean by that is it looks like the bunkers are greenside, and the bunkers are actually like 10 feet in front of the green. But there's a lot of deception. Big slopey putt, made like a quote-unquote bogey on that hole. Very enjoyable. This was the most frustrating hole. It's so well framed and all that. Just a terrible swing off of the tee. Absolutely awful. And if you go to that back, where the pin is, if you go to this bunker or back right, it is so easy to ping pong. And I just ping ponged. And I didn't want to move my club, and I was tired. But thankfully, this is a dogleg left, and this is just bomb and gouge city. So I hit a drive. It was kind of off the toey hook, but it ran out a good ways. And then that was about a 7 or an 8 iron. And this is, to me, it's dramatically more interesting, but it could also be at Pinehurst number 2. I was hitting out of the sand. That was my birdie putt, and oh my God, you're the worst golfer ever, but it's okay. It's a hard course. These are kind of like the closing section of number 4 is what really makes it such a fantastic hole. I'm going to say something controversial. I hit a fantastic drive right there that gave me a chance. But I think that Donald Ross is a fantastic architect, but this is controversial beyond belief. I think Fazio and Gil Hance, he's a guy that he's so unrelenting in the punishment. When I played courses that restored Ross's ideas, it really helped with my enjoyment of the Donald Ross. I hit a sprinkler on that one and ended up with a par, which wasn't that great of a score from where I drove it. But I really think that Donald Ross has some of the best ideas in golf, but he's a little bit too cruel in the design elements. So when we get to the Fazio holes, or more of the holes where it seems like Gil Hance had a say, it feels like those holes were stronger to me. But it could just be that this was my first time playing Donald Ross and he grows on you. This was a really, really beautifully framed water par 3. Oh my God, that was just like an extra clip I threw in, bogeyed it. And this was like my shot of the day. So this was utterly smashed. It's kind of like a hole that's easy to overlook, where it looks like there's a lot, like not much going on, but as you get up, the hole unveils. And that's kind of a good way of thinking of Pinehurst number 4, is a lot of times you hit into like vast spaces, and as you walk up, you go, oh, there's trouble over there, and there's trouble there. That chip wasn't very good, and that drive was totally bad. That was actually like 2 terrible shots. I was so tired, and I was so sunburned that this is like super struggle golf right here. This hole right here, 16, is a short par 4 that you can totally make a birdie on. I made a bogey, not a super sick thing, but I remember I was just kind of rushing through this last bit. This par 5 is super, super long. Hit it pretty sizably. Like, I feel like on 2 and 4, I was driving the ball as well as I could at this point in my life. And that was just like a low kind of duck hooky 3-wood that moved the ball. And then I gave myself a look on the green, and I never was dialed on number 4. I saw so much more movement on these greens. 18 is probably the strongest hole. It's kind of like a standard Donald Ross. Number 1, Southern Pines, and 4, all, and number 2, really, they all kind of finish the same way. Dogleg left up a hill. The par is always relative. Came up a little short, and then this chip was so money. It was so good. I was so hyped on that. Put that 2 feet, finished strong. Thank you for watching this vlog. I appreciate anyone who contributes or subscribes or even likes a video. This is a passion project, and I'm just trying to do the best I can.